Namaste and greetings from India. A very warm welcome to everyone joining us today as we embark on a journey of empowerment and inclusion. I'm thrilled to stand before you as we pave the way for a future where barriers cease to exist in the realm of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Kunjan Kataria, and I'm deeply honored to lead you through this significant celebration of Code Without Barrier India live stream. In the ever evolving landscape of technology, the need for diverse perspective has never been more critical. As we gather here today, we acknowledge the profound impact women have had and continue to have on shaping the digital world. Yet, we also recognize the challenges that persist, hindering full participation and representation of women across all sectors and positions. Reflecting on our past endeavors with Code Without Barrier, we are inspired by the progress made, but we are also humbled by the work that lies ahead. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to breaking down the barriers that limit the potential of women in technology. We believe in future where every woman, regardless of background or circumstances, has the opportunity to thrive in the digital economy. Studies have shown that increasing female participation in the workforce by just 10% can boost GDP significantly, underscoring the immense economic potential of empowering women in tech and taking country to next level. Drawing from the success witnessed in the Asia Pacific, where Code Without Barrier has driven remarkable transformation, and it's evident in the reports that have been released by the country. We're thrilled to bring this program to India, and it was announced by Satya Nadella himself when he was in India around February. This program coming to India, we are poised to empower countless women to realize their potential in the technology sector and across all communities that we interact with. Throughout this event, we will delve into meaningful conversations, share insights, and ignite actions. From decoding diversity to fostering inclusion, our agenda is brimming with thought-provoking discussions, led by trailblazers and change makers in the industry. As we embark on this journey together, let us not only celebrate the achievement of women in technology, but also commit ourselves to tangible actions that drive meaningful changes. Let us amplify our voices, elevate each other, and pave the way for a more inclusive and equitable future. So, I invite you to immerse yourself in the dialogue, connect with fellow advocates, and share your thoughts using the hashtag Code Without Barriers. Together, let's champion diversity, empower women, and build a world where every voice is being heard as well as valued. Thank you for being part of this movement. Let's make today count. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Alok Lal, a visionary leader at the forefront of innovation and growth in India and South Asia. As Chief Operating Officer for Microsoft India and South Asia, Alok embodies excellence in strategy, marketing, and operations. His dedication extends beyond business as he champions accessibility and sustainability, advocating for a better future. Let's give a warm welcome to Alok Lal. Alok, over to you.
Thanks, Kunjan, for the opportunity to be part of Code Without Barriers Women's Day. Hello, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to each of you joining us from Asia for this special live stream. Before we delve into today's discussion, I want to express my deepest appreciation to our esteemed partners, the passionate team at Microsoft, and the vibrant communities whose collective efforts have brought us together onto this virtual platform. We must also acknowledge the women joining us across the nation with an unwavering spirit and zeal to learn and grow. Your commitment to diversity and inclusion serves as a beacon of inspiration to all of us. Today, as we celebrate the remarkable achievements of women around the world, it is crucial that we reflect on the critical role of diversity in driving innovation and shaping the future of technology. The rise of digital creators has revolutionized every facet of our lives. with developers at the forefront of this transformation journey. However, despite the exponential growth in technology, we continue to grapple with the persistent underrepresentation of women in key sectors such as cloud computing and AI. The statistics are sobering, with only a fraction of professionals in these fields being women. This imbalance not only stifles creativity and innovation, but also undermines the collective progress towards inclusive economic growth. It's against this backdrop that initiatives like Code Without Barriers assume paramount importance. The groundbreaking program, spearheaded by Microsoft and 13 organizations, seeks to dismantle the barriers and foster diversity in the tech industry. At Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. By empowering women in tech and nurturing entrepreneurial talent across the Asia Pacific region, we can unlock untapped potential and drive sustainable economic development. The Code Without Barriers initiative is a collaborative effort aimed at promoting diversity and inclusion within the technology industry, particularly in the fields of cloud computing and artificial intelligence. It seeks to address the widening gender gap in tech by providing a platform for female developers and creators and tech entrepreneurs to gain valuable skills, connect with industry leaders, mentors, and contribute to inclusive economic growth. This initiative has been characterized by a series of actionable progress, including skilling sessions, hackathons, mentoring opportunities, all designed to empower women in technology and encourage innovation that reflects the diversity of the society. By partnering with organizations like NASSCOM and leveraging the Nari Shakti movement, Code Without Barriers aims to break down the system barriers that women face in the tech industry and pave the way for more equitable and inclusive digital future. As of 2023, Code Without Barriers program reported a major milestone of achieving 30% diversity in developers, up from 12% in 2021. This initiative has also skilled thousands of women in AI, creating job opportunities and internships. Earlier this year, Microsoft President and CEO Satya Nadella announced the expansion of Microsoft Code Without Barriers program to India, aiming to train 75,000 women developers by 2024. As leaders, we have a moral obligation to create an environment where everyone, regardless of their gender, background, or identity, can thrive and succeed. Let us redouble our efforts to break down barriers, challenge stereotypes, and pave the way for a more inclusive future. As I close, I urge each one of you to seize this opportunity to champion diversity and inclusion in your respective spheres of influence. Together, let us harness the power of technology to create a world where every individual has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Thank you.
That was truly inspiring. Thank you, Alok, for your insightful thoughts. Now, to bring in some thoughts on the industry perspective on diversity and inclusion, please join me in welcoming our esteemed speaker, Kirti Seth, CEO at NASSCOM. With a wealth of experience spanning entrepreneurship, management, and transformative leadership, she leads the charge in shaping India technology skilling ecosystem. With her extensive experience and leadership in the technology sector, she has been instrumental in driving initiatives to foster innovation and inclusivity. Now, without any further delay, Kirti, over to you.
Namaste, everyone. Fantastic to be here at this event. It's such a great topic. It's such a great occasion. We always have, as NASSCOM, we always have such great partnerships with Microsoft. So it's really a privilege to be part of this event. I don't know how many of you know what NASSCOM is. We are the Industry Association for IT in India. And currently, we like to believe that you can't really have tech without India. So we have our work cut out for us. And as a topic, empowering women is something that not only we need to contribute to because we are women, but I think we need to contribute to it just as intelligent, conscious, responsible individuals. Uh, in a country like India, I think this idea is underscored because we do know that women empowerment is the key to a country's prosperity. And our Prime Minister actually really leveraged on this idea about a couple of years ago when he coined a term called Nari Shakti. And in Hindi, that Nari Shakti actually means women power. So we, when as NASSCOM and as part of the Future Skills Prime, which is the learning platform that we run at NASSCOM, we created a campaign around Nari Shakti. It was the idea of that campaign was um, to build awareness amongst women in terms of the opportunities in tech that they can leverage, provide them information about this program, this platform that we have through which they can learn and access opportunities. And then this year, when we heard about Code Without Barriers and we decided to shake hands with Microsoft, it was a brilliant, absolutely brilliant opportunity because our philosophies just match so completely in terms of what we're trying to do. We want to scale up women empowerment. We want to get in women to participate more and more in the workforce, not just in the technology industry, but pretty much across the board. As NASSCOM, we do run a lot of programs around women empowerment and women in tech. One of them is called Women Wizards Rule Tech. The idea is women who are already in the workforce, but as technology changes job roles around us, how can they get reskilled and upskilled to prepare for the next level? There are mentoring programs, there are role model sessions where women go through this program. Almost 4,000 or 5,000 women a year go through this program. We run a Women in Tech program where women who develop products, software products, we guide them on how they can make their business grow. We encourage their entrepreneurial skills. We also run D&I summits where everyone in the tech industry comes together and talks about what they do on this issue of inclusion and diversity. We give out diversity and inclusion awards. And now this particular partnership is, it's not just about skilling women, it's also about encouraging them to participate and just raise their hand up and say, I'm here and I can do this. This is a real issue because I think a lot of the times women just simply don't do that, even if they are capable. The World Economic Forum report in AI said only 22% of women in AI are women. So when we're talking about even tech companies like whether it's a Facebook or Meta or Google, we still have a lot that we have to catch up on in terms of the percentage of women that contribute to the workforce. As NASSCOM and as an industry, the IT industry does a little better than most industries. We try to follow the gender proportionality principle. The idea of the gender proportionality principle is that any organization should aspire to achieve the gender proportion of the level immediately below it. So, for example, in the tech industry in India, 50% of the people who come into the industry are 50% at entry level are women. So therefore, the aspiration is that at mid-level, we should get to 50% as well. At an overall level, women constitute 36% of the IT industry. We're very proud that this is 2 percentage points up from what it was 3 years ago. So I do believe that these initiatives that are going on are helping us to make some progress. What we find is that almost 98% of the organizations track gender diversity. They do have programs, almost 73%, 73% is the latest research that we did. The Aon NASSCOM report reports that 73% of organizations do report that the D&I agenda is driven by CEOs and business leaders. So we find that there are some good things that companies can do if they want to accelerate their journey, their D&I journey. One is, of course, the leadership commitment, which we are seeing, in fact, in good measure. The other thing is mitigating bias. Bias comes consciously, unconsciously. I think all the women in who are listening to this probably have experienced it in some shape or form. Most of the time, I would say it's not conscious. People don't realize it. I think all the workshops that are going on across all organizations now have had a huge role to play in sensitizing people and being able to figure out what to do if this happens. So what kind of employee resource groups can be created? What type of allyship programs can be created? I think pay equity, at least in our industry, is no longer an issue. It still comes up, but I think there is a huge amount of consciousness around it. So what I think, it's not just about having women in the workforce, or there are enough and more studies to say that you must have a diverse workforce. But as AI takes over pretty much everything that we are doing, or is a partner in our progress, whatever we are doing. And as Microsoft, I think you all are the best people to understand that as you promote things like a co-pilot, or as you promote, AI as a resource in every application of Microsoft. You understand this more than most, to say that algorithm designs, not having the right diversity in data, all these can actually lead to not very good outcomes in terms of what the algorithms do, what the applications actually end up doing. We must look for what happens when you ask questions of the data, or ask questions of the LLM, or whatever application that you're using. Is it balanced? Or is it just repeating the biases that we see in life all around us? Even people like healthcare companies tend to forget this. So sometimes in medical trials, you have people just testing male subjects for healthcare trials, and then you have a completely biased set of outcomes, because men and women have bodies that are completely different. Why is it that women simply don't step up, or there aren't enough women in AI? It's a question I ask myself quite often. I don't think I've actually received an answer more than it's a confidence gap. It's that women just tend to want to have, or want to know much more before they say they can start doing something. I think we need to recognize that in the world we are in today, where things are changing so fast, we're never going to be perfect. In fact, so stop waiting for that level of perfection and step forward, step in, and take these opportunities, because today there are opportunities and not enough people to grab them. In India, I think we're doing, we want to promote women in leadership. There are some wonderful female role models that we have in our industry, and for some of you, maybe the names are familiar. For example, there is Anu Acharya, who is the founder and CEO of Map My Genome, fantastic company, which is, well, all about genome mapping. And she says that she has struggled. She has struggled in reaching where she has got to. And she has some advice. She says that you have to get out there and build relationships. You can build the best product in the world, but if you're not able to take it to market or make the right connections, you will fail. And she has personal experience with which she has learned how to build upon relationships. She also feels that sometimes it's easier to step back when that conference happens, when that meeting happens. The meeting gets over, the conference gets over, and you go back to your room. Don't go away. Stay back. Meet some people. Hang around. Those are the people who will get to know you, get to trust you, and be comfortable with you. Have a passion, but have life as well. Women are what they are because they are women. So don't give up on that. You don't have to make choices. You just have to manage your life better. Another lady who is making waves is Sindhu Gangadharan. She is the MD of SAP Labs in SAP Labs in India. She's one of the first female leaders of SAP in India, and she's grown the business. It's a German enterprise software company which has its largest R&D center in India. And so that means that 40% of the global R&D workforce for SAP is based in India. And so she has helped to grow that organization from about 100 developers to almost 15,000 people today. She's been able to break those glass ceilings actually and completely and fly. So just a couple of examples. I don't want to go on and on about that, but it just underscores the fact that our collaboration with Code Without Barriers is just about getting that message across to all the women out there. We have about 190,000 learners on our Future Skills Prime platform. We want to grow that to, we are at, I think, 41% right now. We need to beat those men out there and actually show that women can get out there and get those skills. We're going to work with our industry to bring in some opportunities, especially for women, uh, for as we partner with the Code Without Barriers program and offer them chances that maybe they didn't know existed. And they'll find that there's a whole ecosystem which is willing to support you, which is willing to partner with you and get you to shine like you never thought you could. So thank you very much for inviting me. Uh, very privileged to be part of this forum and wishing Code Without Barriers and Nari Shakti all women power as we power ahead. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Kirti. A lot of takeaways for me. Your words have resonated deeply with all of us, and your insights have illuminated the path forward in our journey towards diversity and inclusion. We're immensely grateful for your time, your wisdom, and your commitment to driving positive change in tech industry. Thank you for being an inspiration to all of us. Let's move forward. And we are now up for a very exciting session. Please join me in welcoming our esteemed panel who are at the forefront of championing inclusion and diversity in their respective organization and around Bharat. Their own journey and the dedication to empowering women and fostering inclusive environment is truly inspirational and commendable. Let's give a warm welcome to our speakers who are leading the way towards a more equitable future for all. Throughout the day, use the hashtag Code Without Barrier and IWD 2024 to join the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts, experiences, and any advice you would like to offer to aspiring women in tech. Before we begin onto the panel discussion, I want to extend a warm thank you to our partners and the entire Code Without Barrier team for making this event possible. Your support and commitment to fostering diversity and inclusion are truly invaluable. Now, for the much awaited discussion, let me welcome Himani Agrawal, Country Head Azure, Microsoft India and South Asia. Himani brings a wealth of expertise to her position, and her strategic vision and leadership skills are integral to Microsoft initiatives in India. Let's give a warm welcome to Himani along with our esteemed panel. Himani, over to you.
The widening gender gap in the tech industry poses a significant barrier to fostering inclusive innovations, especially in the era of AI, which is changing how we work, how we live, and how we interact with each other. Technology is helping break barriers. We believe that every innovation and all group of people like entrepreneurs, creators, developers, they need to reflect society. And we aim to help close the gender gap in the fast growing cloud, AI, and digital tech sectors. Code Without Barriers is our initiative to provide a platform for female developers, founders, communities, and organizations to contribute towards inclusive economic growth. It's on all of us to provide valuable and actionable takeaways to drive positive change in the tech landscape. To talk more about it, I have two special guests with me. Rekha Kodali, Managing Director, Accenture. She leads ATCI Avanade Security Global Solution Area. And Linika Khattar, Director of Diversity, Inclusion and Belonging at NASSCOM. Welcome, Rekha and Linika. It's my pleasure to be hosting you and an honor to talk to the two very strong women leaders and voices in the industry who are passionate about diversity and inclusion and are rooting for women's growth. So let me start with a few rapid fire questions with both of you, Rekha and Linika, so that our audience get to know you a little bit and how you feel about this entire topic, right? So, Rekha, let me start first with you. Can you share a fun fact about yourself that not many people know?
Yeah, Himani. So whenever I'm tense, I have the habit of sketching, but people think I'm taking notes seriously. So I think that's one of fun facts that I wanted to share.
Awesome. Would really love to see some of those sketches. Linika, if you were a hashtag, what would you be?
Question.
Nice. Rick, I'll come back to you. If you could have any superpower just for this panel, what would it be and why?
Achieve all the IND goals in one magic wand, right? So, and why I think is that's the reason we are here. So,
perfect. Linika, what's the most unexpected thing you've ever encountered in your field?
I think for me, abrupt change of roles in my career, from operations to client services to sales to engagement to diversity and inclusion.
Wow, what a journey, Linika. Rekha, if you could code an app to promote diversity and inclusion, what features would it have?
yeah, the diversity app, if at all I were to code, it would definitely be applicable to women in all genders and all demographics. Within and outside Accenture, and now I'm talking specific to Accenture, then the platform to actually share inspiring stories, journeys, a life in a page kind of thing to inspire others. And then maybe where women can actually find exciting career opportunities. And then also definitely a mentoring place where people can find mentors. I think that's very important.
Cool. Linika, describe the ideal workplace culture in 3 words.
Engaging,
Mm-hmm.
transparent,
Mm-hmm.
collaborative, and fun.
Very nice. I think fun was a very, very good 4th word. I'll ask one question, last question to you, to both of you. Okay, both of you have to answer the same question. So, Linika, let's start with you. Can you finish this sentence? Inclusion means?
Means invited, included.
Okay. Rekha, how about you?
Inclusion is like providing equality without any bias.
Perfect. Thank you so much. What a good start that we have. And I'm sure that our audience really know a little bit more about you. So let's dive deeper into the questions that we can talk about today and share a little more with people. So Linika, I'll start with you. Can you share your insights on the current representation of women in data and AI roles and what challenges India is observing in this area, given the fact that AI is something what is driving the entire world right now, right? Everyone, right from a small kid to every person is actually using it, whether it's personal, professional, whichever industry. So that's one of the most happening things and really changing the world. It is changing how we live, how we work, how we interact with each other. So what are the insights that you have and how are women representing in these roles?
Yeah. See, I think the larger picture is about women in technology. And the tech industry represents 36% women in the workforce. There are global reports available which suggest that, many reports actually available, which suggest that women in the data and AI roles are less than 30%. So with that, I think from an India perspective, and this stands true for women in tech, there is a clear need of more inspiring stories to come about, right? So more of Rekhas to be brought into light, so that more and more women get encouraged to take these roles and what it takes to take these roles. So that's the first bit that I have. The second, I think I very, very strongly feel, being a women professional myself and have done about 8 years of working now without a career break. I think women do need, while they need mentorship for sure, but they also need sponsorship, which means there needs to be a sponsor who has a seat on the table. And it could be a male ally, it could be a women ally, it could be a CEO who sponsors the women, and it could be women in data and AI, it could be women in banking, it could be women in sales and women in tech. I think there is a lot of responsibility that is resting on the women themselves, for them to be able to break the glass ceiling, for them to be overcoming the imposter syndrome, right? So, that is the responsibility that I would rest with the women. A lot of us tend to get conducive about the environment that we are in. I think we need to continuously keep challenging the environment, continuously keep raising our voices, continuously fight for the seat at the table. And, the things will change. Because until and unless we ask for it, it's not going to happen. The organizations are doing a lot of practices. There are these inclusive hiring practices, there are best practices, there are, returnship programs. Organizations are trying their best. We've also seen a lot of CEOs holding this agenda. And wherever the CEOs are holding this agenda, the women representation is 40% plus. So, those are some takes.
Perfect. I think a very good recipe that you've given, which is, first of all, it is the responsibility of the women themselves. We need to take responsibility, take charge of our own careers and where we want to go. And supported by the allies, driven from leadership, and challenging the environment can really change the entire landscape of how we can have more women in tech and across the industries as well. Thank you so much for that. Rekha, what are the strategies that Accenture has implemented to increase female representation in tech, and especially in the upcoming fields like AI?
Yeah, very interesting question, Himani. So way back in 2016, right, our CEO started publishing gender metrics. And in 2017, Accenture was maybe one of the first organizations, to set a bold target of achieving a gender balanced workforce across levels by 2025. And also, it did not stop at that. We also committed to growing the number of women in Accenture at leadership levels, right, to 30% globally by 2025. Now, this was possible because we were back, the initiatives that we started were backed by bold leadership and comprehensive actions, right? And this helped us to achieve our target. Now, if you look at the statistics currently, overall 48% of our global workforce today comprises of women, 30% of our leadership globally comprises of women. And another interesting thing is our CXO level is dominated by women, right? For example, our CEO, CFO, the Chief Leadership and Human Resources Officers, the CMO, and in fact, even our Chief AI Officer is also a woman, right? And now I'll just try to highlight 5 key strategies, right, that Accenture uses to increase the female representation in data and AI roles specifically. Now, the first one is the training and development programs. Now, we have identified around 12 focused data and AI roles and very tuned programs, right, training programs in those areas. Now, what does it help? It helps in actually skill building and then building the talent within the women and giving a network of people to actually have, so that they can grow together, right, they advance their career. And then the second one is about the targeted recruitment in women's organizations and then leveraging networks to attract the female talent. And the third very important thing is about the diverse hiring panels to reduce that unconscious bias, right, we have in our hiring process. We ensure women are always involved in hiring process. This helps in creating a more inclusive environment and attracts the diverse talent. And the fourth is about the flexible work policies that help in supporting women in balancing their work-life balance. And then the fifth one is about the employee resource groups. Again, this helps in networking, sharing experiences, and accessing resources that help them succeed in their roles. And before concluding, I just want to stress our leadership commitment here. Accenture's leadership has shown exceptional commitment to diversity and inclusion across, and especially in the data and AI area. While leaders prioritize diversity and inclusion initiative, trust me, it sets the tone for the entire organization. And I just want to underline the fact that we were named a champion of inclusion for 4 consecutive years in India by Avtar.
No, congratulations, Rekha, on that. It's really amazing to see how there is so much recognition of the need to have diversity and inclusion. And I'm just relating to what Linika said, that there is a recipe for this success, which is first driven from the leadership. And that's what probably you've been able to do. As you said, that from the leadership, there is a very, very comprehensive action. And that's really showing it across the figures that you spoke about. So, Linika, I'll move next to you. Looking ahead, what are your hopes for the future of women in tech, and what steps can we take to realize these aspirations across industries, and not just, the tech industry, but tech in other industries as well?
Yeah. So I think first thing first, the vision is equal representation. Right. So I don't think we should be talking about more women representation. I think what we should be talking about is equal representation, because that's what diversity is all about, right? So we are okay with the gender proportionality principle, which basically means at the bottom of the pyramid, you have 50%. 50% men, 50% women. As we progress at the mid-level, we are, it should be 50-50. We should be able to retain that 50%. And as we go at the top of the pyramid, if it's not 50%, but it should not be anything less than 34%. I think that's the vision with which the industry should work with. And this is possible because I think a lot of organizations at the bottom of the pyramid do have 50%. The challenge comes as we progress to the mid-level, right? So that 50% goes down to 34%, and as we go up, it reduces drastically. It goes down to 10%, 12%, so it is that state. So that's one. The second, I think the vibrant communities for women to network and get the resources for them to upskill and take the charge of their careers, right? So that they get inspired by others. They get mentorship by the resources available. So that is second. The third for me, which is very, very important, is transparent communication when it comes to salaries, the pay, right? So today what is happening is, when I get to the industry to say, is there a gender pay parity? Is there a gender pay gap? I think what comes out is that women don't ask for it. We are happy where we are. For the same roles, a man would demand a particular set. And that is when, the gender pay gap increases. And for any organizations to set this back is a task in itself. So I think it needs transparent communication when it comes to compensation from the women and the organization side. So the responsibility of doing this rests with both. Obviously, mentorship, sponsorship, allyship, and we need to ask for those sponsors. And there needs to be more sponsors that need to support women in tech or outside of tech. Yes.
Okay. Rekha, can you discuss the importance of competency-based recruitment? You touched a little bit when you spoke about, focused roles and focused programs, and you spoke about the diverse panel in the hiring and focused hiring, etc. Can you discuss the importance of competency-based recruitment in achieving gender balance in technical positions?
Yeah, again, a very good question. So our competency-based recruitment framework is very well defined, and it is used to attract and select candidates based on their abilities, right, and potential regardless of the gender. Now, how do we do that? It is like a six areas that we focus on. First one is about identifying the key competencies. Now, defining the skills and attributes necessary for the success of the role, right? Without focusing on the gender, that is, without anything related to the gender. The second important aspect that we focus on is on the unbiased job descriptions. Like, for example, using inclusive language in the job postings itself to attract a diverse pool of applicants, and then avoiding gender coded language, right, that might deter certain people. Now, the third one is about diverse interview panels. Again, that's interesting one, ensuring that the panels itself themselves represent a range of backgrounds and perspectives so that the unconscious bias in candidate evaluation is minimized. And then the structured interviews, conducting structured interviews with very predetermined questions that assess candidates' competencies and objectively, right, minimizing the influence of, again, here, subjective bias. And then training and awareness, providing training to recruiters and hiring managers is extremely critical because they should be aware on this unconscious bias, subjective bias, etc., and also on the importance of bringing diversity in the workplace, right? And the last one is about the targeted outreach, actively seeking out and engaging with diverse talent pools, right, through targeted recruitment efforts, including partnerships with diversity-focused organizations, for example, and participating in such events. To summarize, now what has worked for Accenture is competency-based recruitment framework that is instrumental in achieving the gender balance, right, in technical positions by promoting equal opportunity and primarily reducing that bias, I would say, and then expanding the talent pool.
Perfect. So if I have to summarize it for three group of people, right? We spoke about women themselves, we spoke about allies, and we spoke about leadership. I'm summarizing the conversation that you just mentioned. So as women, it's our responsibility to take charge of our own careers. We should challenge the environment, and we should, of course, make use of the network and the resources that are available, and be there to network out with people and create our own paths. As allies, my ask will be to people that be the sponsors. Create those resources, be active in those resource groups to support the women. And when you're going and hiring for people, be unbiased, go to the target communities and bring more women in the workplace. And from leadership, my ask is, which is what you said, is the comprehensive action that every leader needs to make and set the tone at the top. Have flexible work policies defined to make the path much more smoother for everyone. And above all, need to think about equal representation and opportunity without any biases. If each of the three group of people can do these three things, I think there will be a lot more diverse and inclusive workforce that we will have in the industry. So very, very well said by both of you. I would just request if both of you can leave one message for the women in tech on what that one thing that they should do and what you've done in your life to be there where you are.
Rekha, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I would just go with my life journey with one sentence. So focus on your strengths and never leave the technical field. It will work wonders for you.
Thank you, Rekha. Renika?
Yeah. So I'm not a technical person, Imani and Rekha. But I think one learning that I have is don't take a step back with your failures. Just keep it on with our hard work and dedication, and it will pay someday.
What an advice from both of you. It's been wonderful talking to both you, Linika and Rekha. And I'm sure there's a lot more that all of us women can do for each other. And with our allies, it will be a better world to work in. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Himani.
Thank you. Thanks, Imani. Thanks, Rekha. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Himani, Linika, and Rekha. I really want to express my heartfelt thanks for you to spending time with us today. It's been incredibly inspiring to actually hear some of your stories, your insight in terms of how we can actually create an inclusive world and organization for our women. So, we as women need to take charge of our careers, challenge ourselves, look around, and be the change that you're wanting to bring in. On that note, let's hear from the three incredible women developers who took the lead and have benefited from the Code Without Barrier initiative. So please join me in welcoming our three amazing women beneficiary of Code Without Barrier program. First, Rupal Mittal, software engineer at JP Morgan Chase and Co. Second, Pooja Gera, software engineer at Palo Alto Networks. And last but not the least, Kaurisha R. Srivastav, software engineer working at Microsoft.
My name is Rupal Mittal, and I'm a software engineer at JP Morgan Chase & Co. Beyond my role in the tech world, I'm passionate about championing women's empowerment, particularly in the realm of technology. My journey began in Delhi, a Tier 1 city in India, where I initially didn't face actually many barriers in pursuing my career, to be very honest. However, it was during my postgraduate studies in computer applications at a women only university that my perspective began to shift. Surrounded by peers from diverse backgrounds, I witnessed firsthand challenges that women often encounter while entering the tech industry. This realization sparked a fire within me to create a community that would address these issues heads on. Thus, She Builds on Azure was born. At She Builds on Azure, our mission is very clear to celebrate and encourage women developers to pursue careers in tech with specific focus on Azure platform. I've poured my heart and soul into this community like since 2 years now, and organizing events, mentorship programs, and virtual cohorts. Designed exclusively for women. Our flagship program, the Hash Include Her cohort, offers women the opportunity to dive deep into various aspects of Azure technology, from foundational certifications to specialized areas like AI and DevOps. Witnessing over 200 plus women successfully pass certification exams under our guidance has been incredibly gratifying, reinforcing the impact of our efforts. Moreover, initiatives like Code Without Barriers signal a broader movement within the tech industry towards greater inclusivity and diversity. I'm proud to be, a part of this movement, and I remain optimistic about the future of women in tech. As I continue to lead She Builds on Azure and advocate for gender parity in the tech world, I am fueled by the belief that individual efforts can indeed drive meaningful change. Together, we are not just breaking barriers, we are building a more inclusive and equitable future for all women in tech. Thank you.
Forget butterflies in your stomach. My heart beats in binary code. I am Pooja Gira, and Azure and AI are the languages my soul speaks. Imagine a world where grocery shopping practically automates itself, or a Gen AI companion system that allows you to travel safely during late night airport arrivals. These are just a few examples of code from the countless projects I have poured my passion into, leveraging the incredible power of Microsoft Azure to build a brighter tomorrow. Accolades are humbling, sure. National semi-finalist at the Microsoft Imagine Cup in the health category last year, national second runner-up at Flipkart Grid 3.0, national winner at the VMware Cap Hackathon, and over 30 hackathon victories under my belt, which would have been impossible without the support and mentorship I received from Code Without Barriers. My research documented over 9 scientific papers and it explored diverse avenues from predicting pet popularity with state of the art machine learning algorithms to detecting schizophrenia through text analysis. AI powered with Azure helped me to build projects that range from early detection of mental health issues to creating safe spaces for the LGBTQ plus community. I also built a thriving community of over 2,000 plus women engineers, empowering them to explore the vast potential of AI and Azure. My university, Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for Women, recognized my passion for learning and sharing my knowledge, and they awarded me with the Rising Star Award. I see Azure and AI as a powerful tool for inclusion, a tool that can shatter glass ceilings and dismantle biases. Imagine a world where AI makes people happy and get into a better emotional state, maximizing their productivity and strengthening their relationships. This isn't science fiction, it's the future I'm committed to building. I believe that true innovation thrives in diversity. When minds from different backgrounds come together, the possibilities are limitless. It's the collective hum of countless voices that creates the most beautiful and powerful symphony. And that symphony starts with ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to contribute, to be heard, and to be respected. The future is just waiting to be written, and together we can code a more inclusive and equitable tomorrow.
Hi everyone, I'm Gaurisha Srivastav and I'm a software engineer at Microsoft. And as I stand before you to reflect upon my journey, I just want to express that how the 18-year-old version of me would have never imagined how far the present me would reach. It all started back in 2018 when I was looking for a career path for me, and someone told me that women don't make good engineers. And that marks as the earliest memory of a barrier for my journey. As a woman in tech, I have firsthand seen that lack of opportunities and networking poses some of the biggest obstacles in our journey. And I found my way to steer through these obstacles by investing myself into learning new technologies and skills. Machine learning became an abode for me, and I found my way to suppress all these obstacles by participating into several hackathons and putting my skills in machine learning to use. As a result, I won around 30 plus hackathons, which includes some of the country's most prestigious hackathons, like national finalist at Microsoft Imagine Cup, second runner-up at Flipkart Grid 3.2, um, grand prize winner for VMware Cap Hackathon or Dr. Reddy's Health Hackathon. And I found that by participating and winning several hackathons, it became my way to showcase my capabilities and potentials to the world of tech. As someone who has experienced the transformative power of support and guidance, I am driven by a sincere desire to dismantle the barriers and create pathways for others. So, in college, I mentored around 200 plus students in the field of machine learning and artificial intelligence. And since I joined Microsoft, I picked up another way by tutoring the female school students over the weekend about the field of computer science and tech. And I strongly and genuinely believe that these small efforts and my effort to foster sisterhood would go a long way to create their pathways and help them code without the barriers. I am just starting out my professional life, and I look ahead and see a journey filled with possibilities and opportunities. And I strongly believe that with all these small efforts, we can break down each of these barriers one by one, and we can pave a way towards a future which is inclusive and equitable for all. Thank you.
Thank you. I must say, I'm getting more and more inspired as we are moving forward, listening to our speakers. Their clarity of vision and unwavering commitment to the goals of Code Without Barrier and beyond are truly commendable. So, the message is crystal clear. Let's embrace it wholeheartedly. Let's fearlessly dive into the journey ahead. And before we close, let's go and watch our pledge. We, the members of Microsoft family, we stand united in our commitment to diversity and inclusion.
With gratitude in our hearts, we pledge to pay it forward by fostering an environment of inclusivity and gender equality in every workplace we encounter.
Thanks to Code Without Barriers, we are empowered to make a difference. We promise to use our skills to create inclusive workplace where everyone's voice matters.
Where every voice is honored, valued, and anyone and everyone gets such stage to be a part of something more beautiful where nobody feels unrewarded.
Together, we will break down the obstacles, support diversity, and build a fair future for everyone.
Champion diversity and create a world where everyone has a chance to win. Together, we can empower each and every person on the organization to achieve more.
As beneficiaries of Code Without Barriers, we stand here today transformed by its opportunities. We pledge to use our newfound skills and confidence to advocate for diversity and inclusion in the tech industry.
We commit to breaking down barriers. With Code Without Barriers by our side, we promise to drive positive change and ensure that every individual, regardless of background, has a place in the world of technology.
Together, let's shape a brighter and more inclusive future for all. I pledge to embrace my unique voice, amplify the voices of others, and together we create a more vibrant and equitable future for all.
That was amazing. I'm sure while people were taking the pledge in that video, you also would have taken a pledge either for yourself or for the women around you. As we draw near to the conclusion of today's enlightening discussion, let's reflect on the key takeaways and consider our next steps. The insights shared by our keynote speakers, esteemed panelists, and listening to their success stories have underscored the critical importance of driving women representation in growing tech and growing AI workforce from frontline workers to the leadership positions as well. Initiative like Code Without Barrier is an attempt towards fostering a diversity and inclusion in the tech industry. So if you're a woman eager to embark on an AI career, consider joining Code Without Barrier program. Log on to aka.ms Code Without Barrier program or look at the description where the link is being added. By registering today, you will unlock a plethora of skilling opportunities, upcoming hackathons, meetup, and many other mentorship opportunities. So whether you are a seasoned industry leader or a tech enthusiast, there are ways for you to contribute. Reach out to us at cwb-support@microsoft.com if you have any questions around this. We all have a role to play in making the change and turning these insights into actions. No matter if you are an experienced industry leader, a hopeful developer, a new entrepreneur, student, or a devoted supporter of diversity, we can begin in our own ways by taking actions that will create positive change and promote the culture of inclusivity. It begins with creating inclusive spaces within our organization, supporting diversity in hiring and promotions, and offering opportunities to succeed. Looking ahead, let's pledge to remain engaged, proactive, and relentless. We are architects of a future where equality isn't a dream, it's a blueprint. So thank you all for your insights, your passion, and your commitment. Together, we'll illuminate the path forward towards a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive tech industry. In closing, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our speakers, panelists, women developers, and all of you to join this. Let's carry the momentum forward and continue working towards a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive tech industry. Thank you, and let's make the future brighter for all. #Code Without Barriers.
We would love to have you amongst us. Code Without Barriers is that warm, friendly, supportive environment to help you accelerate your career in tech. And we are looking forward to having you all amongst us.
It's a great way to build inclusion for our women and make sure that we are investing in accelerating progress across digital skilling and connected communities.
It creates a more inclusive and respectful work environment for everyone, regardless of their gender identity. I think that Code Without Barriers is not only beneficial for women, but also for men and the whole society as well.
Code Without Barriers will benefit all of us, not only in terms of coding, but it is a platform that can uplifting every woman in the world to achieve more.
It's not just about how many numbers the women we have empowered. It's also more about how we feel every woman being valued, being heard, and being celebrated.
To help empower women and the community and build together an environment where women can help and also encourage them to build more, develop more, and innovate more on this era of AI and cloud.
So for me, Code Without Barriers has really helped me to, work with the major clients in this region, primarily on the diversity and inclusion background, and also to help the female technical talent for supporting the organization.
It's a strong opportunity for us to come together as a community of committed partners and build technology teams, whether it is developer teams, data or AI teams that truly reflect the diversity of the society that we wish to serve.
My journey in CWB, from being a very passive audience to appreciating, to understanding, to start seeing the value of the network and people around, and now moving on to advocacy, has been a very personal journey.
We are excited to continue the journey to inspire more women to code and delve into the possibilities of AI, data, and cloud.
For me, it means giving back, it means empowering women, it means giving women an opportunity that they did not have before. And it simply means bringing a lot more women together on that journey where they are able to grow. And that's exactly what all of us are setting out to do. So love being part of Code Without Barriers.
A lot of times the women representation in tech is very minimum. So I hope with the Code Without Barriers, we really have no barriers for women in tech.
Code Without Barriers is ensuring that we bring the women along in the era of AI, in the era of digital transformation, and contribute to GDP as much as to their own personal growth. Today, I want to celebrate the sisterhood, celebrate the women who are uplifting other women through the program. I also want to celebrate our strong allies who not only support but also lead some of these initiatives to bring the women along. Thank you.